welcome everyone to the COWL CAST by the students of S.H.I.E.L.D. Joining us today is, I'm Demoan, and joining me is...
Are we doing last name today? I'm Michael Spack.
Okay.
Oh, I'm Mikey Chume.
And I was blessed with the ability to pick what we read this week, and I have chosen Heart of Hush, Batman, by Dini, and art by Dustin Nguyen.
Got the last copy, too.
Yeah, you picked this up on the Harrisburg trip.
Yep, I got it for half price because it was a little battered.
You have the new edition. I have the older edition, but it's literally the only difference is a logo on the book. Mm-hmm. You got the fancy new DC logo. I had the old Bullet logo.
Right.
Well, not the old Bullet logo. The other one from like 2004. But this was in Detective Comics from Detective Comics numbers 846 to 850. So a little five-issue arc by this team on Detective Comics, and this has the Batman R.I.P. banner on it when it was coming out. Right?
Mm-hmm, yeah,
R.I.P. being the middle ground story, the big mid story in Morrison's Batman epic. And if you're wondering where this fits in continuity, because this does have the R.I.P. logo on it, this happens after Black Glove and before R.I.P. This happens like a few nights before R.I.P. starts.
Okay.
Because Hush talks about himself working with the Black Glove, or trying to align himself with the Black Glove.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're wondering where to put this on your shelf, that's where you put it. Right before R.I.P. And this is the second time we have seen Thomas Elliot Hush. Famously, go back and watch the first COWL CAST.
Yeah.
We did a review of Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb's Hush epic. And this is the third major story involving Thomas Elliot Hush. Mm-hmm. The second story by him was in Batman Gotham Knights.
Return of Hush, right?
It was Return of Hush, which is loosely referenced in this book, and was never actually finished and collected in trade. Only the first half of it was. So basically, to make a long story short, Riddler sold, because it was revealed Riddler sold the name. He sold the name of Hush to someone else, the Penguin, and he's trying to get protection because Hush is coming after him with Prometheus. So Batman has to protect him, and the Joker gets beaten up by Hush, and the Joker comes back and puts a pacemaker in Hush's heart and starts it and gives him like a heart attack. Like, that's all you need to know is that, and then also Hush got away. Mm-hmm. And that's loosely referenced here.
Yeah.
But focusing on this book, it's a beautiful book, and it's drawn by one of my favorite Batman writers of all time, Paul Dini of Batman the Animated Series fame. He's drawn Dark Knight, A True Batman Story with Eduardo Risu, which is a self-biographical novel about his struggles. Mm-hmm. Because Paul Dini was actually beat up and really messed up one night walking home, and that's the story about how he got over that. It's a really good book if you want to read that. Mm-hmm. That could be a future COWL CAST episode.
Okay.
But this Paul Dini also famous for writing the Arkham Asylum games, Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. He did not do any of the comic books that tied into it. He did not do Arkham Knight.
That's why Arkham Knight failed.
There's many reasons why Arkham Knight failed.
That was one of the main ones.
That's one of the main ones.
I would love to do a COWL CAST.
But Paul Dini, no stranger to comic books. He's done the Batman Animated Series tie-in books, Mad Love.
Yeah.
And he also had a run on Detective Comics earlier, where it was called Batman Detective, which is a trade that's impossible to find.
Didn't he do a Harley Quinn series for?
He did Mad Love, but I believe Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti did. And Terry Dodson did that book. But yeah, he's also the co-creator of Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
But Demoan, this is your book, so you want to take us to part 1 of Heart of Hush, part 1 of 5, the first families of Gotham.
This is we start off.
Well, wait,
with...
I was gonna say like the cover for the first issue, fucking amazing.
Oh, the covers are great.
So good.
I love all the covers.
I mean, we'll briefly talk about Dustin Nguyen, I guess, for a little bit. He's an artist who is, I think, now more known for the Little Gotham stuff.
Yeah.
But he used to be in the 2010s was kind of a big Batman artist guy. He floated around from Batman for a few issues of that and Detective Comics, and he also would draw Streets of Gotham with Paul Dini during the Batman Reborn era, where Bruce was dead and Dick and Damian were Batman and Robin, because the Batman books at that time were Batman, which was written and drawn by Tony Daniel. One of the other writers we talked about, Judd Winnick, wrote the first arc during the Batman Report era. Then it was Tony Daniel drawing and writing. There was Batman Streets of Gotham, written by Paul Dini and Dustin Nguyen on art. Gollum March and Paul Dini were doing Gotham City Sirens.
Right.
Yeah.
Red Robin was going on, and I believe who wrote Chris Yost was writing that book. I can't remember who's drawing it. And Batgirl was Stephanie Brown, and I forget the name of that. It was Brian something.
It was Brian something.
Sorry to the people, I can't remember their names. But no, that one was good. Brian Q. Miller. Q. Miller's Batgirl. And I believe, I'm trying to think if there was a Birds of Prey book. They don't think Birds of Prey was canceled.
Yeah.
I think that's all the Batman books during that time. I'm probably forgetting one, but Vince will just correct me in the comments.
Yeah. I've actually never seen his art in comic form. I've only seen his work on Instagram.
Yeah,
and that's how I got familiar with the stuff. I'm a huge fan.
But yeah, he's now more known for the little Gotham stuff. Like Scotty Young has the chibi kind of cute Marvel characters. He does the same thing with the Batman characters.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is his more actual style, and I love it.
It's really.
If you want to talk, Mikey, you're as our resident artist here. You want to talk about how his art looks?
Okay, so he does a lot of simplistic, yet uses a lot of shadows for his details of art.
He's got a little of a blockiness to him, but not like it's kind of.
It's
cool
kind of like Mike Mignola, a little
bit.
esque.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little Mike Mignola-esque with the way he just uses shadow for most of his stuff. Yeah, but it's extremely good. I'm trying to think. He has I'm thinking of another artist that kind of matches his style besides Mike Mignola, but yeah, but it's extremely really good art. I'm a really huge fan of his stuff.
So Demoan, take us away.
So the first issue starts off. Brand new villain. He's never been anywhere else before, right? I don't recognize him.
I don't remember Dr. Aesop.
Okay, but
he might be an old villain.
That's how you say it, right? Aesop?
Yeah, Aesop.
Okay.
Yeah. Aesop's Fables. That's what he's based off.
Okay, yeah.
He basically his gimmick is that he bases the way he does crime off of a fable.
Yeah.
So say he's relating you to the one they use right away is the boy who cried wolf.
Yeah.
And he decides to off the guy who
Dr. Aesop was created by Paul Dini, and his first appearance was in Detective Comics 846.
Okay.
So it was for this.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we decide. So the Bruce Wayne was playing someone in his gang that had messed up a couple times, and he decided, you're lying to me. So you're the boy who cried wolf. Tried to off him with literal wolves, and then that's how he tries to off people.
Yeah.
So he just uses fables as inspiration to kill people.
I thought Dr. Aesop was cool.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I like it's a fun gimmick.
But Lefty turns out to be a disguise by Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't Matches Malone.
That wasn't Matches Malone because Catwoman thwarts this because she's roped into helping Batman.
Right.
And this is at a time where Batman is not free on the market. He's dating Jezebel Jet.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's from Grant Morrison's run. Jezebel Jet later revealed to be evil and part of the Black Glove. But Batman doesn't know this yet.
Yeah.
And then it continues on. We see Thomas Elliott. He apparently bought a hospital, and he's now working it with a bunch of mental patients who he supports.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they just do his bidding. Or they don't really go outside the hospital, but they just do whatever he asks inside of it, at least.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy.
Yeah, it's very creepy. And
but
then obviously...
we talk about. Well, yeah, I was gonna say, and then I was gonna kind of throw it to you again. Then Tommy talks about his past as he starts to perform surgery on himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We learn more about his relationship with his mom and dad. His father was
extremely abusive and drank a lot, an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm. He chased anything he really wanted. He lived literally in the moment.
Yeah.
He spent money on women, cars, gambling. He had so much money he didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Irresponsible. The mom came from nothing, and she was striving to prove that she belonged in the society.
Yeah, she just really wanted to be a debutante, essentially.
Mm-hmm. And then obviously they go back to the story of Elliot's died in the car crash, but his mom got saved.
Yeah, by Bruce's father, Thomas.
Mm-hmm. And then they get the scene where he gets the pendant that he wears, which I still don't understand completely why he treasures it so much, why it's important to him.
The jade pendant?
Yeah, the jade pendant.
Because, like, he obviously just tried to kill his mom, but, like,
I think it's a symbolic thing.
Yeah.
I mean, in Hush, it was played up as it was, like, the heirloom that it was given to Tommy, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of, with the revelations of this, it's kind of weird. I think it's more of a symbolic thing for him.
Yeah.
Kind of understand that, but like, now it feels like a little weirder that he tried so hard to protect it in Hush.
Yeah.
And also, while he's going through this flashback, he explains that he did sabotage the car to kill both of his parents.
Well, that was revealed in Hush.
Yeah.
He sabotaged the car.
This time they didn't give a reason why he couldn't do it again though.
They didn't that was like, because we talked about that, like, why did he just try to kill him again?
But he gave the reason that the detective working on his case had suspected him.
Yeah.
And the detective was?
His name was, I got it. I think it's somewhere here.
Detective
Sam Emerson Bradley.
Who is known as Slam Bradley in the
Bradley.
DC Comics universe. Mm-hmm. So there's a little bit of a deeper dive for it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Paul Dini always loves to pull out those lesser-known characters for his runs, because we see Dr. Midnight pop up here.
And Mr. Terrific.
And Mr. Terrific. Zatanna also makes an appearance.
She does.
One of Paul Dini's favorite characters. I mean, hell, he married his wife because she looked like Zatanna. She's also a magician.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Wow, I did
Interesting.
not know that.
Yep.
I would honestly never
Paul
guessed.
Dini loves Zatanna.
Jeez.
He had a run on her. On her book
Yeah.
earlier. But yeah, he married his wife, who is a magician.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
But like, I'm really glad that they gave a reason why he couldn't just go back and try again.
Yeah.
Because now he doesn't want to get caught by the detective.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So like that's and then
which is smart. Like,
yeah,
that's
it
a
is.
huge
It's really
retcon,
smart.
and it's totally believable. Like,
Yeah.
I love that.
It makes sense. It's like now it gives reason why he couldn't just. He was obviously deranged enough to try the first time. Why not try again?
Yeah.
Now he has a reason. And
Right.
then, now they keep going, and we see Dr. Aesop, Doctor, right? Was it?
Yeah.
Dr. Aesop.
Dr. Aesop
Aesop
comes back,
is
and this
thwarted.
time he comes at him with a lion.
Yes,
Oh my
I
gosh.
loved this.
What was the fable? Oh, the lion's share.
The lion's share.
It was
I've never heard of that one.
I didn't hear about it
I've never
either.
heard that one before.
But it's a jackass, a fox, and a lion. They all kill like a bunch of game, and the jackass splits it all evenly, but the lion's obviously going to eat more than everyone else, so he doesn't like it. Kills the jackass, and then tells the fox to do the same thing. The fox, because the lion is a much bigger because he learned from the jackass not to try to make himself even.
And I liked how Batman tried to dispose of the lion, and then Selena, because the Batman and Catwoman are now working together, taking down Dr. Aesop.
Right.
I liked this, how she calms down the lion just by petting it.
By petting it,
Batman wants to use sleeping gas, but
don't need it.
Selena has a way with cats.
Yes,
Yeah.
I loved that.
All cats.
I loved that. Dr. Aesop, though, is thwarted in his escape and shot dead by the returning Thomas Elliot Hush.
A quick end for
Dr. Aesop.
An interesting villain.
But looking up Dr. Aesop, because I was curious when he shows up again, he does appear, I believe, in Gotham City Sirens.
Ooh.
Okay.
So this is not his bitter end.
All right.
Always good to know.
He looks hella fucking dead in this, though.
I mean, he's shot twice in the chest.
Not twice in the chest, and he's down. He's not getting up.
No, not for a while. But Batman sees like, oh shit, Hush is back.
Yay.
What's up? Like Selena's like, is that Thomas Elliot? And he's like, yeah. But he's able to throw a batarang at him, scarring his face.
Right.
But Hush is able to get away, but he starts to alert. He's like, Batman was already on high alert.
Now.
He's like, okay.
He knows he has to be on the watch.
And he definitely wants revenge for how their last meeting went.
And then the start of the next issue, I don't really understand that much because it's like a dream sequence of some sort.
Yeah.
Because like Hush kills, or at least mortally wounds Batman in the beginning page of this issue, which I didn't understand.
Yeah, I think he just took, the way I took it was that he just because it did happen. I think he just dressed up one of the people
he dressed
in a
up one of
Batman
the guys
costume.
and like made the like affected the lighting of the building to make it seem like it was an actual like scenario.
He was probably running. Now I think about it, he was probably running through scenarios.
Yeah.
So that's probably what he was doing.
But we get this cool. We get more Bruce and Tommy stuff when they were kids. Tommy's finally able to go to summer camp and try to get away from his mother, but she comes right back and pulls him away.
Yeah.
And kids are teasing him, and he grabs a shovel and just smacks a kid with it. Yeah. I liked this because it showed that Tommy was always off kilter, but and then he's sent to therapy. Yeah. And who's his therapist, Mikey?
Let me see. Oh gosh.
We see. It's a Batman villain. He's a young intern trying to make an impression.
Oh, this would be Scarecrow, right?
Dr. Jonathan Crane.
Okay, that's what confused me. I was like, is this actually Crane or is this someone who works for Crane?
Because they had the weird mentor-pupil thing later on.
I like that. I like that.
Mentor-pupil. Okay, that
which totally makes sense for why he used Scarecrow at the end of Hush.
Right.
Yeah.
In the beginning. Yeah. Paul Dini, very smart.
Actually, to go back on the whole camp scene, I thought he was gonna tell Bruce that he was gonna tell Bruce that he killed his father.
I feel like
that's what he was trying to tease on the boat.
He thought twice and just realized that's not something you just let out for anyone.
Yeah. But I liked the Scarecrow being his therapist. I thought that worked.
I think I didn't know it was Scarecrow's the way he's drawn. He looks a little older and
he already looks old.
Yeah, he's always looked old.
Yeah,
but this would be what? At least 15 years ago, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
let's say
old.
If I know my Batman continuity, Bruce comes back to Gotham when he's 27.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time of, I believe, No Man's Land, it's stated that Batman had been active in Gotham for 10 years.
So this is more than this is. That means this man has always looked old since the day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's really weird.
So this is 20, almost close to 30 years, right? If I'm doing my math right. No, I'm sorry.
I want to say that they're maybe 10, 12, maybe
they're
12.
They're 10, 12, but then...
Wait, no. Bruce lost his parents when they were 8. So they have to be 7.
Oh, okay.
No, because isn't the mom already... Oh, right,
yeah. The mom's
So
Bruce Wayne's parents
7.
I believe...
So
at least
this is close to 30 years.
At least for my canon, Bruce's parents die when he's 8.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it fluctuates, but I think the most straightforward is always if they die when he's 8.
But this is so that means there's 6 or 7 in this sequence.
Yeah.
I think they're both 7.
Yeah. But that means Crane has always looked ancient.
Yeah,
that's why I didn't know it was Crane.
Well, they say it's Jonathan Quinn.
Yeah, they say it is. They describe him as young and upcoming, but he's still.
But I was like, is he really young?
Is he young and upcoming? He looks like he's 70. But we see Nightwing here.
Mm-hmm. Boy, Dick Grayson.
Who's
he fighting though?
I think he's fighting one of his villains.
Okay.
This is the Wonderland crew.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but it's cause who's the guy who with the tusk?
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Flashbacks from that weird Kevin Smith movie.
And Tim Drake Robin comes out, and this is the one gripe I have with the art.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I definitely agree with you as a Tim Drake fan.
He's drawn like he's 9 years old.
Yeah, like he's a kid.
He's drawn like Damien.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Damien.
No, yeah.
That's why it was a little weird for me. I wasn't sure if that was Tim, but...
I think it was always hinted that maybe Tim was a little bit smaller as a teenager, but Tim should be around 16.
He's 16, 17.
Maybe I think by 18 by the time Bruce dies in R.I.P.
Yeah, because he's with the outfit he's wearing, he's in he's far into the Titans by now.
Yeah, it's the the red and yellow suit after.
Yeah, to commemorate Superboy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really weird.
He's drawn way too small.
He's drawn child size.
But Batman comes to warn them, hey, Hush is back. Be on full alert.
Jump at any shadow you see.
Yeah, jump. I like that line, jump at any shadow you see.
Mm-hmm.
And the beautiful kind of mini splash of all three of them leaping off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Nguyen's able to capture the different, Dick leaps off head first down like he's diving like an acrobat. Batman's spreading and jumping with the cape flowing, and Tim's riding the rope. Like I think like it's like he gives a great individuality to all of them.
Yeah.
Because which is nice. And then we get a nice, cool little Batmobile scene.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Dick has his own car.
That,
The
has he always had that?
Yeah, I don't remember.
I thought it was always a bike.
Yeah, Nightwing usually always had a bike.
Yeah,
Robin always had a bike. I don't ever remember Nightwing having a car.
Oh, yeah, for me, he always had a bike.
Yeah, he always had a bike.
Yeah.
So that might have been
bike.
Because I've never really read any of Nightwing's ongoing series.
What would they call it though? The Night Car?
The Night Rider.
The Night Rider. Okay.
Taken, but I like it.
It is, yeah.
The Nightmobile.
That's probably what they went with actually.
The Wild Wing.
Oh gosh, that actually sounds cool.
But yeah, I think that was weird, but like it totally. And then I like Selena goes to a back alley to Satana, who's doing back alley card games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she gets her fortune read by Satana.
And it's weird because she's doing back alley card games, I think, like next to her own building.
Yeah.
Like where she performs. I think it's hilarious.
And Paul Dini is always a big fan of Bruce and Zatanna having a kind of a fling thing, like in the past. So they hint at that, but it's also like
yeah, because isn't what's her name? What's her father's name? Zatara.
Zatanna Zatara, and her dad's name is also Zatara.
Zatara, yeah, he taught Bruce escapology, I think.
Yes, and that was I believe that was an episode of Batman Animated Series.
Yeah, that's how I remember it from.
Now, fun fact, I've seen that episode of Batman Animated Series, but I also had the storybook of that episode.
Oh wow!
They when I was a kid, I had a bunch of, because I love Batman.
Of course,
I had a bunch of storybooks. So like I had that one and like the one where he fights the ninja.
Mm-hmm.
So like I read those constantly. They were awesome. Like I think like in the art was like Ty Templeton maybe drew them, but like yeah, they looked exactly like the animated series. They looked really cool. But one of them was always the Zatanna. The Zatanna episode, which is cool. But a little boy who is an orphan. Colin. No, wait, is Colin an orphan?
Yes.
I think he's an orphan also with like...
He's a disturbed orphan.
Yeah, mentally
he's a disturbed orphan, yeah.
And he's kind of in a scary scene, kidnapped by... Scarecrow.
That's revealed.
To get Batman's attention, to drive him off of Hush's cycle. But we begin the next issue after that with these covers are great. Covers are great.
Gosh, amazing.
I mean, I routinely when I first it was around this time of Batman Reborn, the Batman Reborn branding, where I started reading comics monthly. So I had for a time I was reading every single Batman ongoing.
All right.
And I mean, eventually I dropped them for other books, but Streets of Gotham was always that book that, like, if it had a cool cover, I was definitely picking up the issue that one.
Got you.
Okay.
Or like if it had a light week, like Streets of Gotham, because the art was always so cool.
No, of course.
So yeah, if you ever want to wow yourself, look at the cover galleries for Batman Streets of Gotham, because those books always looked great. But Selina Kyle is kidnapped and surprised by Hush. They fight in the streets, but just 1 second of distraction for Hush is enough for him to take advantage, and he kidnaps Selina Kyle. And Batman is on the case to rescue the kid.
Also stabs her, like,
really
badly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think people were complaining about this, like, how can, like, Selina is kind of meant to just be a damsel in distress in the story, but, like, she holds her own against him. It was only, like, that 1 slight second of distraction he was able to take advantage. I mean, if Tom King was writing her, she was easily able to beat him, but, like, I think this is fine. And I think a lot of people are hating on Tom King's overpowered Catwoman.
Yeah.
It's very overpowered.
I mean, I'll say this. He
writes her beautifully, but
he writes her beautifully. I think in the arc where she fought Talia, I think Talia kind of let her win because she was just testing her.
No, yeah.
If she was worthy of Bruce, but, like, one of the recent issues, she, like, punched out all the Flashes. That was ridiculous.
No.
I thought, like, I was loving it because everyone is complaining about it.
That's funny.
Because I don't like Barry Allen, so anytime Barry Allen can get hit, I love it. But yeah, Catwoman taking out all the Flashes with punches is ridiculous.
Okay,
I will
yeah,
admit
that
it.
is
But like,
you have to show me that later. I don't believe it.
it's really funny. There's an explanation for it because like they're under Poison Ivy's control, and the explanation I think that he gave on Twitter is like,
They were fighting the control, so they made
well,
it
no,
easier?
they don't. Was that Poison Ivy didn't know how to use her powers.
Okay,
How to use their powers. And I was like,
I guess that's kind of fair, but like,
maybe.
they're
still.
but like running's not that hard, so like, I don't know how you not know how to use your legs.
Yeah.
And also like they have fast reflexes as well. Like extremely fast reflexes.
Yeah,
so they should have been able to dodge her punches extremely easily.
I was about something better.
The Weave game would have been extremely strong.
Yep. But back to Heart of Hush.
Yes, of course.
She's taken out. We flash back to Batman, who is taken to a cave. That is where Scarecrow has decided to hide the kid.
And the kid is afraid of. It sounds like everything.
Yeah.
But
he's afraid of bats.
What's the phobia called again? It's like
it's in here.
yeah, it's in here somewhere.
Mikey, if you want to try to pronounce that word, be my guest.
I'm
not going to try to.
I have to find it. I have to find it.
Chirotophobia?
Yeah, chirotophobia.
Yeah, chirotophobia.
Yeah, chirotophobia, yeah. An acute fear of bats. Right. Which is just, she's the perfect kid to go against Batman.
And to fight...
Especially when you spice him up with some venom.
Yeah,
or bootleg venom.
This was really sick and twisted.
Yeah, I was like,
wow.
This is a freaking child.
Where, Scarecrow wired Colin the kid up with venom to like help him fight like this sick like fight your fears thing.
Yeah.
And it's really weird.
Yeah, it's not a potent version of like what Bane uses either.
It's just enough to like be a problem.
Yeah.
But also Batman can't really go hard because it's a child. So.
Yeah. But where he flashed back to the sick and twisted hospital of Thomas Elliot, where he's starting to perform surgery, and what debauchery will he do? We'll find out.
Yeah.
But then we cut to a party, where it's years later and Bruce Wayne is
back in town.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He's not
not back in town
yet. He's in college at this point.
Yeah.
Well, he's probably back for some fundraiser.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's a fundraising gala.
A college is probably going to stay for like a day or two before moving to the next college.
Because he said he was going to Venice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going back to Venice. Because it's stated in Hush that Bruce had fallen out of contact with Tommy as their paths diverged.
Right.
Because Bruce was around the world training to become the world's greatest detective.
Yeah.
And Tommy was stuck at home
with his mother.
Yeah. Well, that's said here. It was in Hush. It's implied that he was in medical school gaining his own alkalads, but that happened much later.
But the mother loves Bruce.
Yeah, the mother
like constantly comparing.
Yeah, that's like her ideal
she's
son.
comparing them, but like the problem is like she's not letting Tommy do anything.
Yeah.
So it's like obviously Bruce is gonna look more impressive.
And Tommy hates being compared to Bruce. I feel like his hate for Bruce is fueled mostly by his mom comparing them together too much.
Really, the mom is the villain of the story, if you're asking.
Yeah.
But I like this because it fully gives a reason for why Tommy can hate Bruce, except for he got his money before me. But that happened after you killed your own parent, tried to kill your own parents. So, no, I liked this gave much better explanation for it. But Tommy meets a woman at the party.
Yeah, and her name is I think Peyton Riley.
Yep,
Peyton Riley, who is a daughter of a crime lord in Gotham.
I've never heard of this crime.
I think she was created for this book.
Okay, just created for the book. Okay.
I don't really know much of the Riley crime family. I know the Maronis and Falcones. But
yeah, the Marone.
Maybe they're an offshoot of them, but I don't think it's stated. I'm not familiar with that crime family. I was going to say, Rupert Thorne. Yep, not that.
You say Falcone or Falcone?
Falcone.
Okay, I say Falcone as well.
But we flash back to Batman, where he's wrapping up this, and he saves the kid, and he starts interrogating information from Crane. But it seems like things are wrapped up here. But he gets a buzz by Oracle, letting her know that Selina Kyle was taken to Gotham General because her heart is missing, and Hush dropped her off.
And she's hooked up to
this really sick machine.
Keeping her alive.
Yeah. Well, it is.
But we don't know for how long.
Yeah.
And I loved the beginning of the next issue where Batman is you get those moments where like Batman's like really pissed off.
Yeah.
He goes, he's like, because he's like, he knows where
he knows where everyone is.
He knows Crane knows where Hush is, so he goes back and he goes to Arkham and he specifically knocks out 2 guards in Arkham so he can harshly interrogate Scarecrow.
My favorite part though is that he did it in the Joker's cell.
Yeah, it's the first cell he had open. I will say this is just a little bit of a confliction to how the Joker should be right now, because this was in the era where Joker was shot in the face by an imposter Batman at the beginning of Batman and Son, which permanently scarred his face to a smile, and he was kind of mute, so he should not be talking right now, and he should constantly be smiling, and he went like more in the shadows. That's a confliction with R.I.P.
So he got shot in the face
by an imposter Batman
and lived.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. Rare, but it happens.
He had like facial reconstruction surgery.
Oh, okay, okay, got you.
But like, his face was literally left
stuck at a smile.
That sucks. Okay.
It was really creepy. Like he was like slashing people with like straight razors and stuff, and it's just like this creepy smile.
Jesus. Okay.
But I did like the way the Joker was written here, as he's just like calling out like what Batman's doing. He's like, "Ooh, you're doing great." I liked this interrogation scene a lot.
Oh, it was a great interrogation.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And Batman at the hospital is called in the help of Dr. Midnight and Mr. Terrific to watch over Selina as he's going after Hush. And it's at that moment where he's really kind of the whole reason for this is like Batman's only really shown his heart to one person, and even though he's had many girlfriends over the past, like Silver St. Cloud,
the only one he really let in is Selina.
Selina. Let's see, how many Batman girlfriends can I list off?
Oh,
Jezebel Jet, Silver St. Cloud, Madison, Julie Madison, Vicky Vale, of course. Selina Kyle. Well, his fiance now.
Yeah, fiance. Should I say
the next step?
Is
that was more like a fling.
Zatanna would be.
Yeah,
Zatanna was a
I feel like
fling.
they've had a relationship before.
Maybe Black Canary when they were younger. Maybe in some continuity. Probably not though. Because they were trained. They were both trained by Wildcat.
Yeah,
right.
I love Wildcat.
But I'd say no on that one. But yeah, I can list off a bunch of them. But I like this, and then we have another flashback to Tommy and her mother, who this is probably a few years later. After the party?
No, it's just 4 months, they said,
it's 4
right?
months.
Oh, it's just 4 months? Okay.
Well, it's probably a little more than 4 months because they said he'd been dating Peyton for about 4 months.
Okay.
So I'd probably say 4 or 5 months, roughly. Maybe 6.
Yeah, maybe like
definitely
half a
not,
year later.
Yeah.
And it's them. She has a fight where once again comparing him to Bruce Wayne. And he goes to Peyton, and she's just like, I have to get out of here.
Yeah, like I can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
He was actually gonna abandon medical school just to go like away with her.
And then we flash back to the present where Hush is trying to figure out where Batman is. I liked he dressed up in medical garb and ambushed him that way.
Yeah.
And he starts beating up Hush, but then his doctor assistants are starting to surround them, so he has to
try to get to a more open area.
Mm-hmm.
And they jump over a staircase.
Yeah, like a staircase.
And they're falling, and there's a great panel where he has Hush by the coat, and he's like, I should break your neck. And he's like, why Selina? He's like, because I want to hurt you in the worst way I could. I know he says, I know what that gutter slut means to you, even if you deny it to yourself. It's like pretty harsh words coming from Hush.
Yeah.
And what's great is like he's still on the bat rope holding him, and he just drops him.
Yeah.
And then they have a break in their fight as he starts to mention how he survived their last beating and what his whole
now he's free of the pacemaker.
The pacemaker.
How he got that
from Hush Returns. And he escaped. He used part of his fortune to buy
the hospital.
Sacred Heart.
Well, it's an abandoned hospital.
Yeah, it's specifically the hospital in which Hush's parents arrived to the night of the car accident.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
where
significance
the mom was
of
saved and the dad was killed.
Yeah.
Well, died. Killed, I guess. Too.
Killed by Tommy, but
yeah.
And he also reveals that he has Selina Kyle's heart frozen. And he
used Freeze's help to keep it alive.
Yep. And
with his experience,
he was also aware. Hush was aware of the black glove organization trying to come after Batman. And he's like, I don't want them to kill him. I want to kill Batman.
Yeah.
So he's trying to interfere with them. And it's revealed here that Hush, when he was performing surgery on his face earlier, used plastic surgery on himself to make him seem like Bruce Wayne. So that's where we get the Bruce Wayne thing from.
Yeah, and that's why Selina got distracted.
Yep.
Because it looked enough like Bruce Wayne that you could mistake him.
Yeah, and especially in the dark like that where you couldn't see the scars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's like enough to just fool them just for a second. Or to a person that doesn't really know Bruce Wayne that well.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But Bruce, he then tries to cut Bruce's cowl off, and he's like basically prepared to like, hey, I'm going to steal your life. And I'm going to kill everyone you know, and I'm going to get rid of your fortune. And you're just going to wind up in the bottom of some ravine of Gotham Harbor.
While I was reading this, I was like, why does this sound so familiar? Then I realized they introduced that in Arkham City. Side mission. Then they tried doing it in Arkham Knight, which we don't speak of Arkham Knight.
Well, we speak of I like this. I mean, the side missions are the strength of that game.
Yeah.
I like that Hush mission though.
Yeah, it was cool.
The cover of the book is kind of the next issue. If you want to show us.
Well, we can't really show. It's an audio cast.
Yeah, we can't really show it, but the cover of the issue, it's the same thing, but the cover of the book is Batman with the cowl on, but the cover of the issue is Batman has the cowl off.
Yeah.
Kind of weird how they do two versions of that, but this is the last issue. Alfred sees that what he thinks is Hush coming back to the mansion, but Batman was already informed that the jig is up.
What I was really hoping is that what Batman says, I need to fix my wounds, and I'm like, that's not something Batman would probably say. He'd probably rush back out. And I was hoping that's what Alfred would pick up on. Yeah. To be like, this is not Batman.
I like how Alfred's able to hold his own a little bit against Hush.
Yeah, because he's old warband.
Yeah.
He should have some kind of combat training.
He's a SAS agent.
Yeah, SAS agent.
It's very alluded to that like Alfred kind of was like a James Bond in his day.
Yeah. You should make a comic book about that.
Yeah, no one's ever done that. It's kind of ridiculous how we've never gotten like a mini series or something of like the early days of Alfred.
Yeah.
I would totally love to see that. I'd buy that book.
It'd be interesting.
But Flash, like this is where Hush reveals about the technology from Freeze and how to save the heart, because he wants to strike at Bruce's heart.
And also, I like how he figured out where the location of the Batcave was. Like, because you're leading me away from that that room, so I'm assuming it's back there. Probably where that that weird clock that you were touching was. It's like, deductive skills.
And I believe, which is the clock tower entrance, the grandfather clock entrance to the Batcave, which is my favorite entrance to the Batcave.
Should be everyone's.
Yes, I prefer that one.
I forget when that was introduced.
There's a fireplace entrance somewhere, right?
Yeah. And then of course the show had the opening wall of the pressing the red button under the William Shakespeare bust.
Right.
Yeah.
But I want to say, I don't know if this is fully right. I think the grandfather clock entrance might have been something that was introduced in Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah, it was mostly Batman the Animated Series. How I remember it, from Batman Beyond when Terry found the Batcave.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, but I don't think that was introduced until Batman the Animated Series, and it's a kind of a thing that stuck.
Yeah.
Which I love, but I'm pretty sure that's how that happened, but I'm not entirely sure. But you get a really cool spread page of the Batcave.
Yeah.
Tommy taking in the view.
He's taking in the view.
Fuck? He's like, you have all this?
At one point he says, when he puts all the water vehicles, it's just, is that a whale?
Yeah. So you have a bathysphere, a boat.
What's really fun is we always get a Batmobile shot. And you want to try to name all the Batmobiles that we see?
Crap! There's a Tumbler.
Yep, we have the Tumbler's there. The 89 car.
89.
And then the original Batman Animated Series car, and then the new Batman Adventures car.
Mm-hmm.
So the little nods to Paul Dini. Dustin Nguyen drew the two animated series cars, and then the two most famous movie cars.
Yeah.
Which is cool. And then we also see the classic comic cars, like the 60s cars down there, and the 40s cars next to it. And I think the 80s kind of like sports car, more sporty car is like right next to it, but like it's off panel.
Yeah.
But we get the last flashback showing Tommy's true metamorphosis into the villain he became.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that one, Demoan?
His mom decides to cut him out of the family fortune because yelled at her before that he wanted
he
more
attacked.
freedom.
He said that quote unquote attacked her.
Attacked her. That's what she described it as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he also refuses to not date the garbage of that is the criminal's daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she's cutting him out of the will completely. He's not going to medical school.
Yeah.
No more money.
Yeah.
And that's it. But
Yeah.
his girlfriend goes out of her way to.
Well, yeah, when they're walking in the house,
Yeah.
the lawyer is
The
walking
lawyer's
out.
walking out.
And he's
And
like,
that's
hey,
how they
Tommy,
know.
good luck.
son.
Good luck.
Good luck. But so
Damn.
the girlfriend now follows the lawyer and kills him.
Yeah, because the papers won't be finalized until the lawyer finalizes them.
Mhm.
So
And then her family has set it up to look like a hit and run, so no one can be traced back, which is
Yeah.
going to puts Tommy in the clear.
yeah.
And then does she come back before and then tell Tommy that this happened, or
I
does
think
he kill,
she does.
or does he kill the mom before?
I think he right when he is about to kill.
No,
his
he
mother.
kills her, and then she walks in the room.
Yeah.
That's how it works. So he killed his mom. She walks in the room because the mom said, "You're not going to medical school." Took away his dream. That's all he was there for.
Yeah.
Medical school. Now he can't even have that.
Yeah.
So he kills his mom. The girl walks in, and his excuse is that the mom was so happy we're together that she fell and broke her neck.
Her
crushed
crushed
her
her
windpipe
windpipe
or
on
something.
the table on a table,
Yeah.
and just like,
Okay. Like
that's a good
that doesn't sound that believable. Like
it,
okay.
It doesn't, but
I liked this. I thought it was good. I thought it was cool.
yeah, it was interesting.
I mean, it's a good origin story for the villain.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
like it.
And I like the final fight in the Batcave.
The final fight
Yeah.
was great.
We come back to that, and then we use the trump card. Batman has the whole. Is he activating the
robotic
famous
Tyrannosaurus.
T-Rex?
okay, it was
T-Rex
actually
in the
moving,
Batcave.
right? Like,
Yeah.
okay, just making
Yeah.
sure. It looked like he somehow was able to tip it over.
But then I was so confused at how the bullets did so much damage to it, though. Like it did so much.
Yeah, that was weird. It's
Like, the-
old.
Yeah, it's old.
It's
yeah,
old.
and it probably had damage from.
But like the bullets like tore it up though. Like there's
Yeah.
like no face left.
Yeah.
He fired it probably at max like I don't know 20 something shots.
And then he gets on the Nightwing and Robin come, and they're kind of thrown aside a little bit. Like
Yeah.
they aren't really booked to look strong in this matchup here.
Honestly.
no. Like Selena holds her own better.
Yeah, Selena. I think Alfred holds his own.
Alfred
holds
his
up
own
better than
better.
them.
But Tommy is trying to escape on the famous whirly bat.
Morally bad.
And I liked this. We get an Incredibles no capes moment. This
Yeah.
is how the book ends.
Yeah, it's so
know.
great.
Because his bandages are all flying around in the wind created of it, and he's like, Batman and him are flying on it, and he's like, what do you think's gonna happen? He's like, you're never thinking ahead, always attacking without studying your opponent's weaknesses.
It's like why do you
He's
think I
like,
ditched my cape?
Why do you think I ditched my cape? And he gets his bandages get top up in the blaze, and he's like, oh god,
It's like, no.
because his scars are starting to bleed now.
Yeah.
For the surgery, and then the whirly bat blows up at Nightwing, and
But then Nightwing walks in and says the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
yeah, what does he say?
I think he's really gone this time. The only thing left is a blood-soaked bandage. Like what? You can't find a body, so he must be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, come on, we know he's coming back.
Like, exactly. Have you seen any of your villains ever? Like they come back.
Have you
That's
read
how
a
it
comic,
works.
my guy?
Not even that. He deals with this every day. He
It's
couldn't have said
funny.
something more stupid.
And Bruce is like, well, he's gone for now. The important thing is getting Selena better, and the
Yeah.
surgery performed by
By-
Dr. Midnight
and Mr. Terrific.
like, goes well. She will recover.
Maybe not. Well, we know she does.
Yeah,
jump from
but
the
they
top,
did
but
say that,
they
like,
said,
She might not even
Less
be able to walk
optimistic.
on rooftops ever and like do all the acrobatic stuff.
But
ever.
that wasn't true because she
Obviously-
does.
Yeah.
obviously we know that now, but like that was something they said.
Like, who the hell even knows if this still happened with New 52 canon?
Yeah.
I think it still did. And plus, she's in perfect condition. I believe it should be able to again.
Yeah.
I like the little kind of dream
Dream
sequence
sequence
with
with
Satana, giving her the aloe vera and rub on her scar
Yeah.
to try to get rid of it. I like this, Bruce going to visit her at the hospital.
Yeah.
I
that was
like
really
this.
nice.
This is, I feel like, a precursor to Tom King almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he really, he thinks he's not listening.
Like he
but
literally
really
just
does
pours
go
his
out.
heart out to her, and like assuming that she can't hear her, he's like, I'm awake.
I love when he's
the
leaving and
entire
he's just like, I'm awake.
time. I'm awake.
He's like, for how long? He's like, since
Since
Selena.
Selena.
The first word he said is he walked in.
But 2 months later, Catwoman is back on her own, rubbing the aloe vera on Scar, as it's referenced. And she's filming a video for Hush.
Because she's smart and knows he's still out there.
Yeah. With a little bit of help from her friends. We see Babs help her. I don't know who that is, but there's a girl in like a very nice fur coat. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know who that is either.
But Harley and Ivy also help her, along with Slam Bradley.
Mm-hmm.
Anything to take down Hush.
They take down Hush because she gets rid of his fortune.
Yeah,
she was able to.
That's how but that's why Slam Bradley's helping.
She's like, and now you're good. Now the next step you should take is getting out of Gotham. But I don't know how you'll do that with like pennies to your name now. That's savage.
Yeah, she keeps a little bit of his fortune for her and her friends, and then gives the rest of it to charity.
Yeah.
And then Hush is left on the streets alone, walking away to fight another day.
On crutches, too.
Yeah, on crutches, and that is the end of the story.
No.
To wrap things up here, Thomas Elliot was used again by Paul Dini in Streets of Gotham. There's, I think the first arc was called Hush Money.
Okay.
All right.
And there might have been a follow-up on that, but more of the stuff is kind of resolved there.
Right.
Overall, how do you like Heart of Hush?
It was
I
great.
really like Heart of Hush.
I liked it a lot
read,
better than Hush.
I do like it better than Hush too. It flushes out Hush so much more.
It fixed a lot of the problems that they did with Hush's
actual
backstory.
Real motivation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I think
He
Hush
feels
was
much
lacking.
more like an actual character,
Yeah, exactly.
and not like a plot device.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is pretty much hailed as the best Hush story.
Yeah, definitely what we've read.
I feel like the art feels a lot better with Hush as a character than it did with Jim Lee's style, to be honest. In my opinion.
A little bit, because we don't really see Hush in full costume and Hush that long.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dustin Nguyen's a really good artist for this. Like I said, Hush is we both said Hush is a fine story, but a little bit overrated.
Mm-hmm.
It's more remembered as being the kind of kickoff story for the 2000s era of Batman more than anything else.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, Heart of Hush took a character that was like had some buzz, and then Paul Dini took it and really improved on the character and
Fleshed it out.
gave him much more of what we can call a character.
Yeah.
But yeah, he eventually would show up again in Hush Money in Streets of Gotham, and more stuff is resolved there. But I really like the Bruce and Selena stuff.
Yeah, that was great.
Paul Dini always pulling out some lesser known characters and giving them mini spotlights.
Yeah.
Like Slam Bradley,
Midnight.
Which I mean, him and Terrific were in
Just Society. That's where I know him from mostly.
But also always like to see Zatanna show up. Only gripe in the art was that Tim Drake's drawn like he's a kid.
Yeah.
But really, if that's the only gripe, that's really not that bad because Dustin Nguyen always draws a good book.
Yeah.
And Paul Dini rarely delivers a bad story.
Yeah.
So we put those two elements together. This is a really fun art
really
of
good.
comics.
And it's a quick read, which I liked. It was a lot shorter than Under the Red Hood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's much shorter.
A lot shorter.
You can probably sit down and read this in about 45 minutes.
I did read in 45 minutes before I came here.
Yeah.
I will say that.
But no, I really like Heart of Hush. I was happy we chose that one because it's a really good Batman story. I think it's hailed as one of the better stories that come out in the 2010s.
I can tell why.
Yeah.
It's 5 issues and it's really good.
It's 5 issues.
Yeah.
It's good. Plus, it has a great creative team. That's a fan favorite creative team.
Yeah.
Overall, yeah. I think we liked it. Any else we want to say before we get into closing?
I think we pretty much said everything that's important.
Tommy's mom's a bitch.
Well, but Tommy's also like not
also an asshole.
Yeah, he's not scot free.
Yeah, he's not scot free. Yeah.
His family is just not good.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I like the stuff with the first Families of Gotham thing. That's always interesting.
First Families of Gotham, yeah.
But fleshing out those stories.
Mikey Chume.
Yep.
You have the pick for the next episode of the COWL CAST.
Yes, I do.
What are you choosing?
We're gonna go Elseworld with this.
One of the original Elseworlds.
Yeah, we're gonna do Gotham by Gaslight.
Gotham by Gaslight will be the next one. Now, here's my question. Because Gotham Gaslight is pretty short.
Yeah.
Do you want to also do the sequel, which is Master of the World?
I think, I know what you're talking about.
Do you want to do just Gotham by Gaslight, or do you want to loop in the sequel?
We should do both.
All right,
because,
we should do both?
because it's short.
Okay. We'll do both then.
Perfect.
Yay.
All right. And until next time, Demoan says.
Signing off, and make sure you get home safe.
Get home safe.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening.